What is the condition for discount? Discount should be given on or before the sales. So after that, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to add. So what we are supposed to add? Expenditures incurred with respect to the supply. After adding the expenditures, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to deduct or less discount. Hello everyone, I am Arun Kumar, lecturer in Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Dear students, welcome to this session 2 on value of supply. So in this session, we are going to solve a few problems based on the concept value of supply or value of taxable supply. So content for today's discussion is problems on value of supply. So before solving the problems on value of supply, first we should have the format, right? So with format only we can solve, or else it is not possible to solve the problem. So in format we are going to know about what are all the items we are supposed to add and what are all the items we are supposed to deduct, right? So this is the format what we have for computation of value of supply. So we have to make 3 columns, right? We have to make 3 columns: particulars, amount, amount. In particulars column, we are going to write all the items, and in this amount columns, we are going to write few amounts or few values in outer column, few values in inner column. So first we are supposed to consider selling price of supply. Yes, if the selling price of supply is given, the price of a drilling machine, the price of a camera, the price of a cell phone, the price of air conditioner, the price of a TV, you'll be giving. So the product price, first we have to consider the product price as the first item, right? So selling price of supply, and we consider that as first, and we will be taking the amount in outer column. We'll be taking the amount in outer column. Next, we are supposed to consider some expenditures which are incurred relating to this supply. Expenditures incurred relating to the main supply, right? So we are going to add those expenditures. So add. So what and all we are going to add? Advertising charges. If any advertising charges incurred, then we will be adding that value to the price of supply, and we will be considering the value in inner column. Next, publicity charges. If any publicity charges is incurred with respect to this supply, the main supply, then we are considering that expenditure and we will be adding the value in inner column. Next, design and development charges. If any design and development charges incurred, whether it's paid by the supplier or paid by the recipient, that amount also we are supposed to include, and we are supposed to write it in inner column. Next, packing charges. If any packing charges incurred, if it is a very delegated product, then they pack with safe and secured material. So if any high packing charges is incurred, then that packing charges should be added with the price of supply. So we will be considering it to inner column. Next, service charges. So if any service charges is charged by the supplier, then that also should be included to the price of the supply, and that we are supposed to consider in inner column. Next, freight charges. Freight charges is nothing but transportation charges. So transporting the product from the place of supplier to the place of the recipient. Sometimes the supplier is not going to charge any freight charges to the recipient. You'll be give free delivery, right? Sometimes you'll be giving free delivery, but sometimes if the supplier is transporting very huge products, then you'll be charging the transportation charges. So at that point of time, the recipient is supposed to pay the transportation charges, whether it's paid by the recipient or paid by the supplier, or recipient is going to pay on behalf of the supplier. That amount should be added to the price of supply, and we are supposed to consider the value in inner column. Next, loading and unloading charges. So loading the products in the supplier's place and unloading the products in customer's place or recipient place. For that, they'll be paying some charges to the laborers. So if those expenditures is incurred, then we are also supposed to include that value to price of supply, and we'll be considering the value to the inner column. So these are all the items, few items which we are going to consider and which we are going to add to the price of supply. So after these items, we are supposed to total the value of these expenditures. So just total the inner column, take it to the outer column. Total the inner column, take it to the outer column. You will get some total, right? You will get some amount. Total price of supply. Total this price of supply and the total expenditure value. The total expenditure value. You will get some value here. Take that value. Okay, let us say here we have 10,000 rupees. So main supply, the product value is 10,000 rupees and we incurred like 5,000 rupees of expenditure. Then the total value comes to 15,000. The total value comes to 15,000. Next, what we will do? We are going to deduct some value. So what is that value? That is discount value. See, less discount. We are going to deduct a discount. And I hope all of you can remember the condition for discount. What is the condition for discount? Discount should be given on or before the sales. The discount should be given on or before the sales. If the discount is given in that condition, then we will be deducting the discount value. So directly we will take the discount value here and we deduct the discount from the total value. From, like, say we have discount of 2,000. So we will be deducting 2,000 rupees from 15,000. Some total we will get, that is 13,000. Right, we will get 13,000 in this line. So that 13,000 is called what? Transaction value. 13,000 is called what? Transaction value. So for this transaction value, we are going to add GST. Yes, on this transaction value, that is on rupees 13,000, we are going to add GST. Like say GST, it is 2,000 rupees. So 2,000 plus 13,000, total value comes to 15,000. Total value comes to 15,000. So that 15,000 is called what? It is called value of supply. The 15,000 is called what? Value of supply. So I hope all of you understood the format. Once again, I'll repeat how to compute the value of supply. First, we consider the price of the product, price of the supply or service or goods. After considering the price as the first item, next we are supposed to add a few expenditures which are related to that particular supply. After adding the value of expenditures, then we deduct the discount. So after deducting the discount, we will get some value. That value is called transaction value. That value is called transaction value. So for transaction value, we will be adding GST, right? Whether it's 5%, 12%, 18%, 28%, whatever the value, we will be adding GST. So after adding GST with transaction value, whatever the value we will get here at the last, this value will be called as what? Value of supply. Like see here, 15,000. So that is going to be the value of supply. That is the amount what the recipient or the customer or the consumer or the buyer is supposed to pay to the supplier. Next, moving on to the problems. So here we have the first problem. So from the following information, compute the value of supply. So in the given information, by using this information, you are supposed to compute the value of supply. So first point, selling price of the supply is rupees 2,50,000. So selling price of the supply is how much? 2,50,000. Advertising charges rupees 15,000. Next, design and development charges rupees 50,000. Next, packing charges rupees 20,000. Loading charges rupees 8,000. Allowed discount at 10% on the price of the goods and shown in the invoice, and rate of GST is 18%. Okay, so using this information, we are supposed to calculate the value of supply. So what is the format to calculate? This is the format: particulars, amount, amount. So format is particulars, amount, amount. So which one we are supposed to consider first? We are supposed to consider the selling price of supply in first. Then we are going to add, then we will deduct discounts, later on we will add GST. So now what is the selling price of supply? Selling price of supply is rupees 2,50,000. So here we write, so where we are supposed to write the selling price? Outer column, 2,50,000. Selling price of the supply is 2,50,000. So after that, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to add. So what we are supposed to add? Expenditures incurred with respect to the supply. So what and all the expenditures incurred? We have advertisement charges of rupees 15,000 and design and development charges of rupees 50,000 and packing charges of rupees 20,000, and also we have loading charges of rupees 8,000. So advertising charges, what is the value? It is 15,000 and we are supposed to write in inner column, that is rupees 15,000. Next, design and development charges. So what is the value of design and development charges? Rupees 50,000. So take it to inner column, rupees 50,000. Next, packing charges. So what is the value of packing charges? It's rupees 20,000. So take 20,000 here. Next, we have loading and unloading charges. What is the value? Rupees 8,000. So take that 8,000 rupees. Loading and unloading charges, rupees 8,000. So total the value. Rupees 15,000 plus 50,000, 65,000. 65,000 plus 20,000, 85,000. 85,000 plus 8,000, 93,000. Yes. The total value of additional expenditure incurred with respect to the supply is rupees 93,000. So add this 93,000, you will get 3,43,000. How much you will get? You will get 3,43,000. So from that 3,43,000, from that value, deduct discount. So what is the discount we have? It is 10%. So deduct discount of 10% on the price of the goods. So what is the price of the goods? The price of the goods is rupees 2,50,000. Price of the goods is rupees 2,50,000. So if you calculate 10% on 2,50,000, how much you will get? Very easy. 2,50,000 into 10%. How much you will get? You will get rupees 25,000. Yes, you will get 25,000. If you deduct 25,000 rupees from 3,43,000, you will get 3,18,000. So this 3,18,000 is called what? Transaction value. 3,18,000 rupees is called transaction value. So for transaction value, we are going to add GST. So what is the rate of GST? The rate of GST is 18%. Here I mentioned CGST 9%, SGST 9%. Why CGST 9%, SGST 9%? Why can't IGST directly 18%? So one thing we have to understand while solving the problem, if the place of supply is not mentioned in the problem, from where to where the supply is happening, from which place to which place, from which state to which state, if this is not mentioned properly, then you have to assume that the transaction is happening within the state. If the place of supply and the place of delivery is not mentioned in the problem, then you have to assume that the transaction is happening within the state. So if the transaction is happening within the state, what tax is applicable? CGST and SGST is applicable. So 18% divided equally to CGST and SGST, that is 9% and 9%. So on what value we are going to compute tax GST? On this 3,18,000. On 3,18,000, if you compute 9% and 9%, you will get 28,000. Here we will take 28,620. 28,620. Okay, if you compute 9% and 9% on 3,18,000 rupees, you will get 28,620, 28,620. Total of this value comes to 57,240. 240. So if you add 57,240 of tax with 3,18,000 rupees, you'll get 3,75,240. Yes. So now what is the value of supply? The total value of supply 3,75,240 rupees. So this is how we are supposed to calculate the value of supply. So moving on to the next problem, that is problem number 2. Compute the transaction value of goods under GST Act from the following information and GST payable. So selling price of the supply excluding CGST and SGST rupees 8 lakhs. Next, advertising charges rupees 75,000. Design and development charges rupees 20,000. Publicity charges rupees 40,000. Packing charges rupees 15,000. Services charges rupees 60,000. Freight charges rupees 40,000. Loading charges rupees 10,000. And allowed discount at a 10% on the price of the goods, and the rate of GST is 12%. So using this information, we are supposed to calculate the value of supply. So moving on to the solution part. Solution, here we have computation of value of supply. Computation of value of supply. We are supposed to make 3 columns: particulars, amount, amount. So first and foremost, we have to take the selling price of supply. Right? We are supposed to take selling price of supply. So what is the selling price of supply? Rupees 8 lakh. Rupees 8 lakh. So we are taken 8 lakh rupees in the outer column. Next, we are supposed to add some expenditures. So add expenditures. So add. First one I have taken advertising charges. So what is the value of advertising charges here? 75,000. So I have taken 75,000. Next, design and development charges rupees 20,000. Next, publicity charges rupees 40,000. Next, packing charges rupees 15,000. Services charges rupees 60,000. Freight charges rupees 40,000. Next, loading charges rupees 10,000. So these are all the additional expenditures incurred with respect to this supply. So the total value of this, how much you will get? Rupees 2,60,000. The total of additional expenditure is how much? Rupees 2,60,000. So add 2,60,000 rupees with 8 lakhs. Add 2,60,000 rupees with 8 lakhs. You will get 10,60,000 rupees. You will get 10,60,000 rupees. So next, after adding the expenditures, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to deduct or less discount. So what is the rate of discount in this problem? It is 10%, right? The rate of discount is 10%. So now compute the value of 10%. So 8 lakh rupees, okay? So discount here, 8 lakh rupees into 10%. How much you will get? Obviously 80,000. So this 80,000 with 10,60,000. How much you will get? You will get 9,80,000. This 9,80,000 is called what? Transaction value. 9,80,000 is called transaction value. So on transaction value, add GST. So what is the rate of GST we have? We have 12%. So rate of GST is 12%. If you compute 12% GST, so before that, here in this problem also, they have not mentioned the place of supply, whether it's happening within the state or between the states, or the transaction is happening between two countries. This is not mentioned. If that is the case, we have to assume that the transaction is happening within the state and we are supposed to compute CGST and SGST. So rate of GST is 12%. We are going to divide it equally towards CGST and SGST. 6% CGST, 6% SGST. So the transaction value is 9,80,000. On 9,80,000, if you compute 6%, you will get 58,800, 58,800. So on 9,80,000, 6%, 6%. 58,800, 58,800. Total comes to 1,17,600. So what is this value is called? 1,17,600 GST payable. GST payable, rupees 1,17,600. So if you add 1,17,600 with 9,80,000, if you add 1,17,600 with 9,80,000, you will get 10,97,600. You will get 10,97,600. So what is that value is called? That value is called total value of supply. Yes, this is how we are going to compute the value of supply by using the provisions available under section 15 and from rule number 27 to rule number 31. So yes, thank you all for watching. I hope you all understood the topic. We will meet in the upcoming sessions with some more problems based on value of supply. Until then, thank you all.